Hello everyone, it's me Tiffany. Welcome to my channel where I share all things pregnancy, postpartum, and motherhood related. I am a certified birth, postpartum, and bereavement doula, so that means I support women and their families on their journey from conception to postpartum. If you have not had a chance yet, please check out my website, www.sacredarrival.com. You can check out my doula services, childbirth education courses. You can check out my blogs. So y'all, in this video today, I'm going to touch on the topic of something called obstetric violence, all right? And what obstetric violence looks like is any type of abuse that is received during your pregnancy, while you're giving birth, or during your postpartum period, okay? So it can be physical, it can be mental, and it can be emotional, okay? And so some examples of this might include, say for instance, you have gone to your doctor's appointment and you have some concerns that you're worried about, like maybe your baby isn't moving, as often as they were before, and your provider dismisses your concerns or brushes your concerns off. Or say for instance, you have some type of cultural, differences as compared to your provider, and they're just not really open to the things that you want to discuss or the things that you're concerned about. That's a type of abuse, okay? Or say for instance, you're in the birthing space, right? And you are giving birth, you're in the process of giving birth, and they are either checking you really forcefully, okay? They are bringing in like interventions and things that those are things that you either did not discuss, or they're trying to coerce you into doing things that you just do not want to do. Like that was not part of the plan. You're not comfortable with it. They're not willing to be open and discuss, different things with you. Like those are forms of abuse, okay? And it's more common, ta-da, with women of color, all right? I was reading an article not too long ago where it talked about women of color are the most affected in, especially women who are in the hospital space. White women who are in their 30s, I think the report said, who are in their 30s and who have a planned vaginal delivery are less likely to be discriminated against. I don't even know what to say, because it honestly does not, my coworker in the background back there, it honestly does not matter, like, if you are a black woman, right, or a brown woman. I think I've talked about this before. Like, it does not matter if you have a master's degree, a PhD, if you are making $100,000 a year, if you're making $20,000 a year. If you are a woman of color, you are more likely to be discriminated against than any other race. I mean, it's just what it is, and it's very unfortunate. So I just want to talk about some ways that you can advocate for yourself in these birth spaces, okay, in these doctor's appointments, right? So one thing you can do, okay, is come up with a birth plan. Come up with a birth plan, sit down and write it. And there's different like questions and things like that you can, well, not questions, but different questions. Well, yeah, questions you can ask yourself. Okay, what do I want for my birth? What do I want my birth to look like? What don't I want? Do I want an epidural? Do I not want one? Do I want to be able to, walk around? Do I want to move freely? Do I want to be able to use a birth ball? Do I want my husband or boyfriend or mother or whoever in the space with me? Do I have a particular, type of music, just different things. You come up with a birth plan and have something in place. If you want to hold off on, it's medically necessary for any type of interventions, make sure that you include that stuff in there. Do you want to breastfeed? Do you want skin to skin? You can create this detailed document that lays out everything that you want for your birth experience. Now, one thing to keep in mind is it's a document, and you have to be flexible. So in case of emergencies, you have to be flexible and be willing to let your, just kind of go with the flow, okay? Like, so if something was to happen, you needed to change your, your plan in case of an emergency or something like that. But have that plan in place in case it's, just so you have it. You have a written document. Your provider has a copy of it. If you do want to have a doula, and I'll talk about that in a second, but if you do have a doula, your doula can have a copy of it. Your, support person as well. So you have something in writing that you want to go by, okay? Another thing that you can do is Educate yourself. Educate yourself as much as you possibly can when it comes to pregnancy, when it comes to birth, when it comes to postpartum. It's so important. And honestly, y'all, it's really no excuse as to why you're not able to educate yourself on the things that you need to know, okay? Google. I mean, there's so much information out there. Google, YouTube, go to the library, you know, go to Barnes and Noble. It's just so many different places where you can go to equip yourself with the knowledge that you need, because it is crucial. It's crucial that you educate yourself as much as possible, because a lot of these providers, they know you don't know. They know you don't know. And they're feeding off of that. So educate yourself, okay? Please, 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 by all means. Another thing you can do is get a doula, okay? Now, I'm a doula. I love being a doula. I love doulas. I'm for it, okay? Because I feel like we are definitely needed in the birthing space. But also you need to make sure that when you pick a doula, this is going to be somebody that you are, you know, you connect with, you vibe with. You need to, you know, interview this person. See if y'all align with, you know, y'all have the same goals. Because there are, you know, as with everything, there are some people in these positions that are not in it for the right reasons, okay? And sometimes it's unfortunate that some people don't have your best interests at heart. So that's why you need to make sure that you interview your doula before you choose your doula, okay? Make sure that you look over the contract that you all have or whatnot. Make sure that everything is, you know, is in alignment with you, because I really feel like we do make a huge difference in a good way in the birth space. But it's also important to pick a doula that aligns with you and what you need and what your family needs, okay? And in that same aspect, another thing to do is not only interview your doula, interview your provider, okay? If you go to your doctor's appointments, you know, don't wait to 5, 6, and 7 visits and you've been sitting there since visit 1 and you're just like, man, I don't know if I really like this provider or not. No, you don't know. I'm gonna give you the second visit at best. Typically, you can go in and that first appointment, you kind of can be like, you know, this ain't gonna work. And sometimes you may have to give them the benefit of a doubt. Maybe they was having a bad day, so maybe you might try 2 visits. But that second visit, I'm pretty sure that you are going to know. You have the right to change your provider. If you get in there and that provider is not what you want them to be, you feel like they're not going to support you, they're not going to answer your questions, they're not going to be there to guide you, y'all don't have the same goals, and if you feel like they do not care about you or your birthing experience, change providers. Please change providers. You have that right to do. And speaking of rights, know what your rights are. Know your birth rights. Know that you can refuse, you know, things. Know that you don't have to stick with the same person. If somebody's in that room and there's something off, you, just like I did, you have utilize your resources, right? You can contact and call a charge nurse. You know, you can say, hey, I don't want this provider in here, I don't want this nurse in here. You have so many rights and, you know, things that you are able to do to help advocate for yourself. Okay, you can say no. You can, you know, request a different doctor. You can request a different nurse. Okay, so these are things that I feel are very important to know. Don't ever feel like, oh, I'm just some pregnant person and nobody cares about me and I just have to go along with what the doctor says. And this is not a video to bash doctors or try to get people to go against them, but it is a video to let you all know that, hey, this should be a team. It should not just be a thing of, oh, I'm the doctor and I know everything and you're going to do this. No, this is not how this works. Providers are supposed to work with their patients together, okay? The most important thing is the health of the mother and the baby. And I feel like a lot of people have gotten away from that. And a lot of people look at, especially us, Black women, when we come in there, it's just another number, you know, try to coerce you into doing things that you don't want to do, you know, that you don't agree with, but you let fear and lack of knowledge, you know, override your better judgment. Another thing to do is, something in my eye, listen to your intuition, y'all. Do not, that gut feeling, when you feel like something is off and something ain't right, trust it. Because 99% of the time, you're right. You know when somebody's not right. You know it, you can feel it. But I think a lot of the times we second guess ourselves, and we feel like, oh, because we don't know, that we shouldn't speak up and we shouldn't say anything. Or we feel like because they've gone to school for XYZ years that they have it all down and know everything. No. Trust yourself, trust your gut. And there's some amazing, amazing, amazing providers. I have been in spaces where providers, man, go above and beyond. They'll get nurses right if they're not acting right. You get what I'm saying? So there are some amazing providers out here, but there are also some who do not need to be in this profession. Who do not need to be. And so it's really up to you to protect yourself and protect your baby. And by doing this, by educating yourself, by choosing people who are going to be on your team to support you through this whole journey, that is the best thing that you can do. Okay. So I just want to get on here real quick and just talk about advocacy and how you can advocate for yourself in the birth space. Okay. Just talk about obstetric violence and what that may look like. So as always, I thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.